I've got a question for you. What do Michael Phelps, Paris Hilton, Justin Timberlake, and I all have in common? If you guessed that we're all multimillionaires and have millions of followers on Twitter, then you'd be partially correct. But all of us suffer from ADHD, also known as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So 6 months ago, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I've been doing a bunch of research to inform myself about the mental illness and how to live and cope with it in my daily life. First of all, there are 3 types of ADHD. The first one is impulsive. So whenever you think about impulsive, it's usually the stereotypical hyperactivity that you usually think when you hear ADHD. They usually have trouble sitting still, being quiet. They're usually constantly fidgeting, and they usually interrupt a lot, but they don't do it on purpose. The second type of ADHD is inattentive, and this is the ADHD that I've been diagnosed with. So essentially, inattentive ADHD, you basically lack attention. So you miss simple details, you become distracted easily, trouble focusing on tasks, becoming bored quickly, becoming confused easily, or daydreaming. We're usually very unorganized, and we have trouble maintaining focus for longer periods of times. The third type of ADHD is combined ADHD, and essentially combined ADHD is inattentive ADHD and impulsive ADHD, and just combining them together. So now that we know the signs and symptoms of the disorder, we'll go into the risk factor for ADHD. So the greatest risk factor would be your genetics. If someone else in your family has ADHD, the likelihood of you having ADHD greatly increases. Some other risk factors would be exposure to environmental toxins such as lead, maternal drug use such as alcohol or smoking, premature birth, or brain injuries. So treatments for ADHD. So from when they're under 6, they usually have behavior therapy for both children and the parents. Between 6 and 12, they usually start adding in the medications to supplement the behavioral therapy. And then from teens and adults, they have more options. They have different types of medicines. They have psychotherapy, education, and training on ADHD, or a combination of all of them. So in conclusion, ADHD is a serious illness that 6 million people in the United States have. When treated, people with ADHD barely realize that they even have it. But whenever it's untreated, there's problems with self-esteem, depression, anxiety, and struggles with relationships. So I hope my presentation has taught you more about ADHD, and I hope you can empathize with parents and children that have this disorder. Thank you.